This is something in this video that is just now hitting me really hard, but I realized that everybody had to do it at some point before they make it. You have to fake it. You have to fake it to make it. And this concept I didn't really understand. This is deep. This is deep. So let me read you some realizations I had. I wrote them down. I wrote down some realizations, and I want to give it to you guys right here, okay? Super easy. Okay, ready? All right. Okay, girls don't want to feel like sluts, right? So, women want a pre-selected man. Yes, they want a guy who is not awkward in bed, knows what he's doing, can take care of her. Other women want him. But not someone who makes her feel slutty because he brags about it and it puts it out in the open and it lowers her reputation for being used by this guy. Okay, so that's a catch-22 right there. How do they solve this issue then? How do women solve this issue? I'm going to tell you how right here, okay? They like a pre-selected man who is sneaky and manipulative just like them, okay? A good liar, okay? The best way to subtly show a girl you're pre-selected is to lie from a pre-selected man's point of view. For example, hey, it was nice meeting you today. It's not every day someone catches my eye enough for me to stop and say hi. You're lying because obviously you approach a shitload of girls, or obviously, you know what I mean? But you're lying and she knows you're lying, right? But she's thinking, okay, he's lying because this usually works on girls. So you want, like, it usually works on girls. Like, his game usually scares girls away, so he lies about it, and that's how he gets them. It's game. They're like, oh, he has game. What is game? It's just literally pretending, okay? Or misdirecting. So it's the same thing you do when you qualify a girl. It can be applied to every aspect of game. You could do this at the beginning. Hey, I don't normally do this. I'm really shy, but I had to come say hi. I'm actually really introverted. I don't normally do this. So she knows you're lying because you're smooth and you're confident. So she goes, why is he lying? Why is he lying about this? Oh, because he must have a lot of girls. And he knows that girls find out about his other girls and then he loses them. Okay, so so she instantly thinks, okay, pre-selected. Okay, high value. He has lots of girls. You guys get this? They want a guy with lots of girls. So she's like, okay, he gets lots of girls. Oh, but he's good at hiding it. So I wouldn't look like a slut by being with him. And I won't feel like a slut. So it's like you're trying to come off like you're trying to reassure them that you're not a fuckboy. Like you're trying to hide the fuckboy. Like you can't help it that you're so pre-selected, and it just implies that you don't get rejected because of low value. You get rejected because of high value, because you scare girls away because you have so many girls, so many options. But it's just, you have to hide it because if it's too out there, then she looks like a slut, so she runs away. So you have to hide your sluttiness so that she doesn't look like a slut. But you're still saying that you're pre-selected and you're good with girls. Do you guys understand this? The implication here is the most seductive. And this is straight. That quote right there is straight from The Art of Seduction. Okay? Implication is the most seductive thing in game. Okay? And if the girl feels like you hold the frame well enough, then she gets to be with a high value guy and get good sex, but at the same time not look like a slut. And, you know, he says she could say like, oh, he's a nice guy to her friends, for example. Like, if they were going to run into him, like she knows, she could trust that you're going to be able to hide it. And she's not going to look like a slut. And this is really deep, but this is really subtle. You have to understand this. So it's like you're really a pre-selected bad boy. There's deep psychological game here. It goes even deeper. And here's how I'll explain it deeper, okay? A fuckboy lies, cheats, he hides his fuckboyness. He doesn't show it off. He plays her. He plays her, okay? You have to come off like you're trying to play her. That's the way to get girls. And I never understood this because I'm like, no, that they know you're playing her. She knows you're lying. She's not that stupid. No, dude, I'm that stupid, apparently. See, it's dumb guys who think that they're fooling girls that actually get girls because they're too dumb to realize that she actually is one step ahead of them. She understands that he's lying. But that's okay because she at least likes that he is a liar so she won't look like a slut. But the smart guy just goes and be honest. She's not going to go with that. You have to be smart enough to know that she will know that you're lying. But she's not going to be smart enough to know that you're lying, you're faking your lie. She's not going to be smart enough to know that. And plus, it wouldn't even matter if she knew that because if you do this right, you're going to get girls. So she's like, well, he's doing it right, so he gets girls. Does that make sense? It's that simple. You act in this way, you behave in this way, you get girls. All right? And this isn't a bad character trait. This is being cunning, smart, witty, and influential, manipulative. It's all the same thing. And you're not doing it with bad intentions. You're doing it with good intentions. You're misdirecting with good intentions to help her because of her social conditioning, because of society that we live in. Society is fucked up, not you, not her. That's how you need to look at it, okay? All right. So you need to lie as much as a female, and she will respect you. She can learn from you. She wants someone higher than her, more cunning than her. Simple. Really, it's really simple. Like, honest men equal boyfriends. Honest men can never fuck many girls. Unless they have super high value like Dan Bilzerian. Then you can be honest, fuck boy. But it takes a while to get to that level. Okay? So girls are used to guys who fucking don't call back because the guy has mastered his game, so he gets laid like crazy, okay? Also, he might be really good looking too and shit like that, but still, he mastered his game is what it is. So you need to act like you have 100 girls, but you don't want her to know it. But low-key, obviously, you do want her to know it because obviously she wants a pre-selected guy, but this is where you're fucked up. This is where you pick up artists and all you guys that are really smart, and you're like, oh, girls like a pre-selected guy. Ho, 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 ho. That's where you're getting fucked up because you're like, oh, I want her to know I'm pre-selected. No, dude. You don't want her to know you're pre-selected. You want her to come to her own conclusion that you're pre-selected. It's implied subtly, but it's like you're trying to hide it or you're ashamed of it. Not ashamed of it, but you're a victim of just being too good looking. That's what it is. It's not your fault all these girls throw themselves at you. So you kind of have to hide it to make the girls feel comfortable around you, okay? You know, when me and my girlfriend broke up, she was like asking me about girls I hooked up with, and I was like, yeah, I hooked up with this one girl. But we didn't hang out again. And she's like, oh, she didn't call you back. And I was like, nah, like, yeah, like I scared her away for whatever reason. I forget what I said. And then she set the frame. She was like, oh, that's funny because usually it's the guys who don't call back. And so she tried to set the frame. And I was like, no, you don't get it. She got scared because I'm too real. So she ran away. I don't even want her. And like I flipped the frame back, but you see how she tried to set the frame because that's what she's used to. That's what girls are used to. Guys not calling back. Not guys trying to hang out a second time. When you fuck a girl and you try to hang out with her a second time, she knows. She knows you're beta. Never hit up a girl for a second time. Let them come around. Your job is to make the sex so good and your game so good that she wants to come back around. And these are the deep realizations that you need to have, or you're gonna fucking chase girls away. Okay? Now, you can set it off the open by saying, hey, I don't do this often. I'm really introverted. I'm really shy. But it's not often a girl catches my eye like this, so I had to say hi. You guys understand this shit? Once she realizes your high value, she'll make the interaction smooth for you. Even her shit tests will be IOIs. They'll just be token resistance so she doesn't seem slutty. But she's still shooting sexual energy at you so you feel comfortable. Girls have a easy way of making guys feel uncomfortable that make them feel uncomfortable. So make her feel comfortable by saying, I don't normally do this. Or like, I have to go in a second, but I just had to do this real quick. I normally don't have time to do this. That's another good one. Okay. When you say, I don't do this too often, it makes her think you're a fuckboy. Because she thinks you're lying, which is good. You want her to think you're lying. Okay? But if you say, I'm really shy, she's going to think you're telling the truth. She's going to think you're telling the truth. All right, so anyways, that's basically it right there. Girls want to be played because then they don't feel like sluts. It's not their fault, okay? Game equals lying about having game. You don't want her to think that you're bragging about your game. You want her to think that you have game, but you hide it. Girls sometimes tell me I'm intense, but that just means they're like, please, bro, like soften it up by lying. Like, tell me you're shy. Tell me you don't do this. You're making me feel like a slut. Maybe say something like, oh, I'm actually introverted. That's a good thing to say. And here's the key. And this is where I'll finish the video. I was watching a UMP video, and they said, don't let her break the tension. She tries to break the tension. Don't let her break the tension. Hold the tension until she gets comfortable with it. Rebuttal, rebuttal, rebuttal. Keep rebuttaling all of her objections until she stays there, and then she will get horny just by staying there. You have to hold the tension until they get horny. They are slaves to their emotions, so lie and make them comfortable. Apply tension and keep them in the tension, and use false time constraints and softeners. I gotta go. I don't normally do this. Why? It doesn't make sense. No. Like, listen, it's not every day that I have time to do this. It's not every day I have time to do this. I'm just curious about something. Like, you're fine though, right? You qualifying them, rejecting them, so lying, false time constraints. You're using false time constraints and softeners that are lies, and she knows that they're lies. But it's just like, oh, I'm just, you don't have to feel like a slut. I don't normally do this, Because girls have no choice. They try to pull away because they're slaves to their emotions. They don't respond to your text because they know that they're going to have sex with you and they're a slut after that. You have to hold them there longer. So you got to say, I'm sorry, I'm shy. Short circuit their brain, keep them there. Keep their emotions going. Their emotions keep going up, up, up in the presence of a man. Period. If you don't do this, girls will think you're a little boy that doesn't understand your value as a man. If you approach a girl, you're automatically confident and you can pull girls and you can get laid. But girls will not stay there and just let you fuck them. They will try to pull away. So you need to say things that soften it, and you're trying to comfort them and make them feel better, because you're interpreting their resistance as like, oh, they don't want to be a slut because you're so attractive and you get so many girls. So you got to be like, no, I don't normally do this. I'm really shy. I'm actually really shy. They think it's funny. They stay there. They feel better. Now you fuck them. And now they're like, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing. He has game. This guy gets laid. They think you're on an upward spiral of manifestation, not a downward spiral. They think you have momentum. They think you have girls. Okay? You're giving them plausible deniability for falling for you and not being a slut. Okay? You're giving them plausible deniability at every corner of why it's okay to talk to you. No, it's okay to talk to me. I know society's judging you because I seem like I'm so smooth and confident, and you're getting played by a guy. No, you're getting seduced right now by a guy. I know society's judging you, but it's okay. I don't normally do this. I'm actually really shy. I don't normally have time to do this. Do you understand? That's why it works. Okay? And there's where I'll end it. This should change your life if you understand it deeply. All right. Take care, guys. Sarah wants to say goodbye too. Say goodbye to them, Sarah. Later, guys.